Okay, so today we're going to be doing another interesting video, and it's a bit of a live update video on a trade that I've been taking. So most recently, I've been spending a huge amount of time trading the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and it's really for the purpose of this video and also because we're going to be doing a few video series on this specific topic about talking about what's happening in the US market right now. Is there a bit of a crash occurring? The questions behind also to do with the motivations of the fundamentals, to do with the political analysis, to do with Donald Trump, the midterm elections, and also to do with how last week was the biggest week I ever had of trading, and specifically how I was able to capitalize on the market triggering a massive weekly sell-off. So to start off with, let me just introduce myself to you. My name is Morgan. I'm the director of MS Equities Trading. I am a professional trader and I trade on the behalf of clients based all over the world. I also run an educational group where I teach people how to trade and invest in the financial markets, and I teach people in over 28 countries around the world. I run a very specialized online training academy where we teach these students, we coach them as well, and it's a very extensive academy, but we are going to be focusing for this video on showing you a bit more about how you can learn from this trade idea, how I'm able to trade this and make a huge amount of profit from these trade ideas, and also how you'll be able to use these ideas for educational purposes. Now, please understand that these videos are just for educational purposes. This is just so you can follow along with my trading, so you can learn from it. And I'm not going to be trying to give you investment advice or persuasive advice about how you should trade your own money. That should be completely down to your own discretion. But for this video, we're going to be keeping it nice and short, just having a look at what's happening in this week for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's the last week of October. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be having the midterm election results coming out, which is why we're going to start off with this video and do 1 or 2 more videos coming up about this specific thing. But we're going to be getting on the charts and talking about exactly why the market is selling off and why I am expecting a bit of a recovery and how I was able to profit from it. Okay, so just to start off with, what I'm going to be doing is showing you just a breakdown of my trading portfolio. So as you all do know, on this specific portfolio, this portfolio is live, it's verified, all of you are able to follow along with it. There's going to be a link down below in the description. But all of these trades are real trades that I'm taking, and what I'm going to be doing is just giving you a quick update on what I made on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so the US 30 last week, and then we're going to be jumping into exactly what I'm doing with my trades right now. So as you can see, if you haven't looked at this just basically shows a breakdown of my overview performance, my returns on a daily basis, as well as all of the metrics behind it. But if you click on the history of it, you can have a look at the trades that I've taken. So I'm just going to take off the deposits and the withdrawals, because those are just swap rates that are basically going in and out of my account. They're actually not real withdrawals. But as you can see here, if we start off on the charts right now, you can see that there's 2 trades that I closed out on the 18th and the 19th. So right now we're sitting on the 24th of October. We're sitting at about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we've got 2 trades over here that closed out on 18th and 19th for a 0.03% gain, a 0.09% gain. And then lower down, you're going to see that we've got some other trades on the 17th, closed out for a 0.20, nice big trade, and another one for a 0.09. This 0.20 trade was actually only a 1 hour and 31 minute duration, so it was a really, really nice trade that I took. And then going on to the second page, you can also see there's quite a few other trades that I've taken. So you can also see over here on the 16th, there was 4 trades that I took, all for a 0.01, this 0%, so no gain, 0.08, and then a 0.16 over here, and then another one, a 0.18, a nice big trade, this one only lasting 5 hours and 55 minutes, so that was a very nice trade that I was able to take. And then further along, you can see that there's no other trades taken. So what you can basically see is between let me just have a look at it, between the 15th to the 18th was where I took most of my trades last week. I was able to make a really, really good amount of profit on those trades, also being in just one single week, and that was specifically because there was that market sell-off. So what I'm going to be doing for you is marking from the 15th to the 18th on the charts and showing you exactly how I was able to profit from those trades, and then giving you a breakdown of what I'm doing on my trades right now, the trades that are actually open. So jumping onto the trusty charts here, we've got the weekly time frame over here. I'm going to be jumping into the hourly time frame that we've got. I know there are tons of lines on this chart, so this just shows you a breakdown of some of the instruments that I'm making use of. But what I'm going to do is actually open up a new chart for you so we can see everything a little bit better. Let's just go to the chart window. Let's add in one of my templates. Okay, so this is just a nice simple template that we're going to use, and what I'm going to do is show you a breakdown between when that first trade was taken. So as you can see, the first trade that I took was on the 15th right over here. So 15th is going to be from the date of opening all these trades. So you can see that the first trade that I managed to open was on the 10th. So we're going to go from the 10th when I opened up all these trades all the way till the 18th when the trades were closed. So the last trade was closed from last week. So just going back onto the charts, you can see that we're going to have a look at how on the 10th was where this big market sell-off occurred, and I'm going to be talking about that. But where I opened my first entry was around about on this level right here. So I'm just quickly going to show you an example of where the first trade was opened. So this is exactly where the first trade was opened. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it all the way to the 18th. So you can see the 18th is around about over here. So you can see it's effectively flat from where the first trade was open to the last trade. But effectively what I managed to notice is that as price was coming back down, I opened up a nice small position here, so I wasn't too worried about the risk of taking that position. And as I saw the market pulled a little bit lower, it regrouped into a volatility funnel. Now, volatility funnel is a very simple type of strategy that we make use of. Now, this is actually a strategy that I teach my students. It's actually the first technical strategy that we teach them. So I'm sure some of my students are going to be watching this now and saying, wow, Morgan actually used the volatility funnel. I actually did, and that made me a huge amount of money on this position. And it's just showing you how what I teach you in the academy is actually what I trade as well, which is also very, very important for me to show you. Now, in this trade idea, I did go and have a look at all the fundamentals. I did have a look at other strategies. I also had a look at the MFI strategy. So if you haven't seen the MFI strategy, the thumbnail to it is up over here. You can go have a look at that and learn a bit more about the MFI strategy. It's a strategy that I've given out to everyone on YouTube to be able to watch, but it was the volatility funnel that triggered everything for me. So going back onto the charts, you can basically see that how we had this funnel forming up right over here. You can see our price action is forming down into this very, very tight funnel and then breaking out. Now, inside this area here, as you can see, I entered my first position over here, but seeing that as price regrouped, I started to add to my positions lower down. So as you can see, when we had a look at that portfolio, I'll throw up a photo of all of the trades listed right here. I'll probably put a number of how many trades there were. You can see that there was quite a few trades that I opened as price action was forming into this volatility funnel. And basically that's just for myself as a trader, learning from experience, knowing that as price levels out, we're going to see that upside momentum, and that's what we effectively saw. So back onto the charts, I basically saw how we had this volatility funnel, price action was getting really tight, and I knew at some stage very soon we're going to have that breakout. So earlier on, there were some positions that I managed to close out, and then going towards the end, I closed everything out towards the 18th. So there were a couple trades that I closed early and a couple trades that I closed later on. Now, in terms of that, I was able to maximize my result, and I was very happy with that. But now recently, we've been able to see how the market has sold off once again into a lower level down, right down over here. So if I take a support line, you can see how the market has hit a solid rock bottom right over here, and you can see how that's come way below where the previous support levels are. But if we take this edge of the volatility funnel, you can see how we're matching up very closely with this trend line, how we've got a trend line forming, how price action has broken from that volatility funnel, come right back down and formed a bit of a downtrend. So if we have a look here, we can also see that there is a very strong resistance level right over here, and this resistance level could possibly be another volatility funnel that begins to form up. So one thing I am watching very closely is to see if these levels right over here, this support level, so we can see if we zoom in a little bit, you can see how this level has been tested very strongly over here, but you can also see that if I just draw a rectangle square for you, you can see how this level has been tested 3 times as a support level. It was broken down today, actually on the 23rd. So right in the beginning of the session, we had this breakdown and how prices come right back down to this previous level, which was this previous resistance level of the previous breakout funnel, and now has formed this level and come straight back up. Now in this position, basically what you can see is previously the volatility funnel formed up perfectly. I took additional positions, I held them all the way back up to the top, got out of the positions, and then price action has come back down. Now what you can probably think to yourself is that I've gotten back in on the positions, and you're absolutely correct. So I've added to my positions now. I've got an additional position way low down, right where the support level was tested on that downward trend line. So I've got a good amount of profit on that, but I also still have one or two smaller positions higher up that are actually in a loss. So my issue is that I'm now waiting for the market to gain the momentum, try and form up another funnel or another breakout strategy, and try and show that upside momentum. And the main reason why I'm able to see that is we're on the hourly chart right now, but the secret really lies in the larger time frames, having a look at that as well. So if we go into the bigger time frames, we can also see how on the 4-hourly time frame we have very, very strong upside momentum. So like I said to you with the MFI strategy, you'll understand how these levels over here are obeying the MFI strategy relatively well. And you can also see over here, if previously we saw how in the past when the volatility funnel first formed last week, we saw how those levels were being tested on the stochastic. Now, if you also don't know how to trade the stochastic, we've got a video up for that as well. So go over to this thumbnail, you'll be able to see that this is an extensive video talking exactly about how to trade the stochastic, which I'm sure will help you a huge amount if you don't know how to trade the stochastic right now. The other one on top of it was going to be the Bollinger Bands that I added into the mix of that analytical process. Now, I haven't done a video on the Bollinger Bands yet, but I am going to be doing one this weekend for all of you. So stay tuned. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and just ring that bell. What that does for you is that I will actually notify you when the next video gets uploaded. So the second the Bollinger Band video gets uploaded, you'll be able to watch it and you'll understand exactly why the Bollinger Bands were also a big reason why I won on this trade. Back onto the charts, you can also see that on the 4-hourly time frame, you've got that stochastic oversold. Price action came straight back down here, but you can also see on the daily time frame, we have a very interesting candle forming up now. So as you can see on this candlestick right now, we've had a very, very long wick forming. And as you can see previously, we had some very long wicks forming over here. So now the big one is also to say to myself, well, if I have a look at candlestick analysis, this could possibly be a pivot point candle that I could be looking at, and we could see upside momentum to the upside, and that could take advantage of the fact that I'm in on the positions and I could be able to make a good amount of profit from this. As we can see also previously, way back when the first sell-off occurred back in February, if I go back here, you can also see if I zoom in, so this is February 2018, you can see how there are very, very long tail end pieces to each of these candlesticks. So you can see how prices moved all the way back down, broken below that Bollinger Band level. So you can see this lower black line is the lower end of my Bollinger Band. If you want to see my settings, I've got it on 25 period, deviation of 2 with a shift of 0. And that's basically how I use it for the meantime. You can see our price action forms these very long wicks and then returns straight back up to that level. You can also see again here, we had some very long wicks. We had some long wicks in this area. So if I actually just drew a square for you, you can see how we've got this level. We've got right over here. Let me just make this a bit smaller. We've got over here as well. We've got some wicks over here, and that's about it. So you can also see over here, we've got some shorter wicks, but not as long. So you can see how the price action is moving to the bottom of these Bollinger Bands, rejecting from those levels and pulling straight back up. And you can also see over here how we've had right now, so last week we had the Bollinger Bands pierced. So we had a very strong push below the Bollinger Bands and then followed by a very strong push higher, another pivot point candle, followed by now a very strong downtrend. But now we've got these real strong spinning top candles, and it definitely seems as though if we have a look at candlestick analysis, that it could be an opportunity. Now, candlestick analysis is a very, very simple form of technical analysis. It's not one that I use all the time, but it could possibly be another point that I can add to this trading plan. So I'm in on these positions. I'm going to be holding that for a period of time, but that just shows you a breakdown of exactly how I was able to get in on these positions, make my money last week, get out of the market completely, and then get back into the market this week as well. So that's also important for myself now to see if we can catch a recovery way back to the upside. Now on this trade idea, it is a stressful trade idea. We've got midterm elections coming up in 2 weeks. That could cause a bit of a sell-off to the market. We've also got a bit of tensions with China. Now we've got a little bit of tensions with Saudi Arabia, but I don't really think that's affecting the indices market right now in the stock market. But also this week, the last week of October, we've got earnings week. There are a huge amount of big companies that are reporting their earnings this week, which could be a big impact either in a good way or a bad way. But the big one is I'm trying to see if that resistance level could possibly be broken and we can see a movement to the upside. So just back onto the charts, the resistance level that I'm talking about is this level right over here. As you can see, the market is forming a very strong downtrend, but there is a possibility that we could see movement to the upside. Now, I can't ever confirm that. It's just my analysis. That's what I think could possibly happen. But once again, that is where I definitely want my target to be set. My first target is definitely going to be set in some region right around here to possibly see if we could get price moving up there. My second target, my long-term target, is to see if we can get price moving slightly higher into that area. But once again, that is definitely a very long-term target, and I don't possibly think we could get there anytime soon. So once again, this is just a simple breakdown of how I was able to profit from the Dow Jones Industrial Average last week, get out of my positions, and then get back in on the market volatility. Now, I wouldn't definitely say that this is an incredibly safe trade. This is a little bit of a higher risk trade than I would usually take, mainly because we've got so many economic and political factors in play. But once again, it's a great opportunity for you to learn a bit more about how I was able to trade the volatility funnel, as well as how I'm having a look at using multiple different other types of analytical strategies to come up with an opinion of where I think the market is going to go. As a professional trader, I can never say for certainty where the market is going to go, but I am able to predict based on a sense of probability. So once again, I might have a 60 to 70% probability and understanding that we could have a strong upside momentum. But once again, anything can happen to the market. Just before we sign out of this video, I just wanted to say to everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video. And to anyone who wants to learn more about how we train students in 28 countries around the world, you can visit our website, www.msequitiestrading.com. You can learn about how we have a very specialized online training platform that allows us to train students from anywhere in the world, as well as our private coaching programs and how we train students over a 12-month period. Right now, we're also running a promotional discount, 80% discount. We only have 15 seats left. We already had 45 seats completely sold out, mainly to students in America right now. America seems to be doing very well with our academy. But if you want to get in on that, you must just email study@msequitiestrading.com and my team will get straight back to you, or you can fill in a contact form on my website and my team will make sure to contact you as soon as possible. Make sure to subscribe and also like this video if you thought it was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers for now, everyone.